I had to go to the dentist office this morning, and when I was there, the dentist was doing his thing. He was cleaning my teeth and whatnot, and he looked at me and he's like, "How come your gums are all sore and inflamed?" And I looked at him and I said, "Probably because you're stabbing them with a prison shank." Alright, so today I wanted to try and do something a little different. Instead of what I normally do, where it's just a giant collaboration of my friends and I doing stupid shit, and don't worry, there will still be plenty of stupid shit for you guys to see, I decided I'm going to do a whole video around one champion, instead of just a collaboration of all of them. So, what I wanted to do is start with the champions I really like. For example, I was going to do Lux in this one because she's one of my favorite champions, and eventually I'll work my way down to the champions I don't like at all, and I was thinking about calling the playlist Fave to Hated, so here we go. Let's start off with some more. Lux comes from the land of Demacia, like quite a few champs in this game. She's actually part of the Crown Guard family, and I didn't know that was her last name until about 5 minutes ago, and I looked it up. Well, anyway, but being from a really rich family, Lux was expected to go above and beyond most of her peers, which she grew to quite well. And as she got older, people found out that she actually had the amazing abilities to control light, which would be really cool because you can make people see things, and there's so much more you can do with that than just lasers, but hey, laser. And when she got older, she was recruited into the Demacian military. She climbed through the ranks quite quickly, as she was renowned for her daring achievements, most of her in her covert operations, which she passed with flying colors. See what I did there? But eventually she found out that her true calling was with her brother in the land of League of Legends, where she could follow in her brother's footsteps and unleash her gifts as an inspiration for all of Demacia. Lux's passive is Illumination. What it does is every time that she hits you with a spell or an ability, it marks you with light. If she attacks you with her auto attack or her ultimate within the next 6 seconds, that mark is consumed, dealing 20 to 190 magic damage based on your level. This passive is great in lane because just throwing your spells at people allows your next attack to do extra damage, making her trading very effective. This also makes it very easy to last hit if you like to use your spells when you're trying to farm in lane. So Lux's Q is called Light Binding. What it does is that she throws a sphere of light out directly in front of her, and it jails the first target it hits for a set amount of time based on how many levels you have in it, and will continue on past that target and jail the next target for half of the amount of time that it jailed the first target. This ability can be really good if you're good with skill shots, but it's kind of hard to land, especially at long distance, because it doesn't move very slow, and unlike most stun CC abilities, it does not stun longer the farther it goes. This ability is great for locking down enemy champions, especially if you're good at threading the needle and throwing it in through the minion waves. It doesn't work every time though. It has a rather large hitbox, kind of like a Blitzcrank Q. A lot of people do like to play her support because of this, but honestly I wouldn't recommend it because the only way she's actually viable as a champ is if you go full AP, unless you're that dickbag that wants to go full AP support, which by the way, you guys should stay out of ranked queues. Lux's W is called Prismatic Barrier. What it does is she throws her staff out in front of her, spinning for a set distance, and every person that it touches, it gives them a shield as well as yourself from the second you throw it, and when it comes back, you'll catch it again, and it'll give yourself a shield again. You can give up to 2 shields for throwing it on the way to and back. If you're good at timing this right, you can save people out of some really sticky situations. This ability is good, especially for swapping lane trades. If you throw this before you initiate a fight, it makes it really hard for the enemy champion to match you in your damage output, especially if you're good at landing your Qs. Lux's E is called Lucent Singularity. This is probably her strongest ability. As she throws down an AoE slow, it grants vision in that area and it will last up to 5 seconds, but if you want, you can press her E again and pop it early. This ability is really strong because it scales with 60% of her AP, whereas her Q scales with 70%. This spell affects everybody. This ability is great in lane for farming because ever since they buffed it, you can press E again as it's in mid-flight and it'll pop the second it hits the ground. This makes it really hard to dodge, and it's also great for getting your passive off on all the minions in lane, making it really easy to farm. Now we're finally to my favorite ability. Lux's ultimate is Final Spark. This ability is not only ridiculous in its range, it also its damage. It scales with 75% of her AP, and after gathering energy for 0.5 seconds, she shoots this giant laser in a line that deals damage to everything it hits. And also while you're charging it up, it does reveal the area for a little bit. Before you fire, you see this little red line unless you're using Steel Legion Lux, and it shoots a little blue line. Either way, so that's the sign of the enemy that you're about to get fucked. When you get good at landing these long range ults, it is so satisfying getting those long range snipes. It's so fun to watch the enemy's health just drop. If you're good at hitting these, your team is gonna love you. They're kind of hard to hit sometimes on the edge, especially if people are moving, and you'd be surprised how many times when people flash out of the way at the last second. But the best way to ensure that you land this combo is make sure you hit your Q and then throw your E down on an ult, and pretty much if you're going full AP, that's just like an instant death sentence for them. This ability is so much fun, and not only its uniqueness, but if you're rolling with Deathfire Touch, when that one person gets away with just a sliver of health, that ensures that doesn't happen anymore, so thank you Keystone Masteries. So when I'm laning with Lux, I always like to max my E first. The splash damage is really nice, and it's also very hard to dodge. It also helps applying passive to all of the minions, that way it makes it easier to farm. I usually max my Q second because it reduces the cooldown on it, and by the time laning phase ends, you'll be running around with your team, which will make it easier for you guys to get kills and catch people out. If you're having a tougher time in lane, you can max your W second, because that shield scales really nicely, and it'll make it easier just to stay in lane and farm up for a little bit until you catch back up with the rest of the gang. For build order, I almost like to go Morella and Omicron first. The mana regen helps a lot with sustain, and if you're having a tougher time, you could probably go Zhonya's first, especially if you're fighting an AD champ like Zed or Talon. For boots, I always go Sorcerer's Shoes because the magic pen is a necessity for a mage, and my core items usually involve Rabadon's Void Staff and Luden's Echo. So all in all, is Lux a good champ? Yes, absolutely. I'm not just saying that because I've played a ton of games with her. She has a really great kit for teamfighting because she has a ton of AoE splash damage, as well as she's great at catching people out that are trying to run away. I would put her at about a medium skill level where yes, she is very skill shot based, but like I said earlier, if you can land her Q, and her entire combo is pretty much a freebie for you.